Wait, what? Hold up. Hold up. Let's talk about this. So, Gibbs talked about some NFL draft stuff. And this is what he had to say. He said, I knew for a fact that Dallas was going to get me at pick 26 if I was still there. He said on the Richard Sherman podcast, and a couple other places like Cincinnati was going to get me. I think they was going to trade up at like pick 18 or something in that range. So, I don't know the validity of this, because again, this is just a player speaking on this. Now, he definitely probably has some inside source, because the fact that, you know, he's kind of like we were talking to him, okay? Like, we brought him in, had conversations with him. I'm sure that there was a lot of chatter in the background, and he heard a lot of the chatter from his agent, from, you know, the people around him. But if we were going to trade up to pick 18 and take Gibbs, man, now looking back, that would have been so good. Oh, man. I love Myles Murphy, but to have Gibbs on our roster instead of Myles Murphy with Chase Brown and potentially still Joe Mixon, I can't imagine a running back core right now. Obviously, our offensive line would still be awful at, run protection, but still, having Gibbs on our roster instead of, like, I guess he would be instead of Zach Moss, because we still have Chase Brown. Although, yeah, I don't know about, we would probably still take Chase Brown. But then it would have been questionable, actually. Because if you take a running back in the first round that year, right, and you get, obviously, Gibbs, do you still take 5th round pick Chase Brown? You might go edge rusher or defensive lineman in the 5th round. But usually how the Bengals work is they just go with the best player available, despite the position. So I probably would guess they would probably still go with Chase Brown. But still, I mean, having both of those guys on our roster right now, we probably would have still gotten rid of Joe Mixon in the end. But our freaking team would have been so freaking star-studded. I can't imagine our squad right now if we had Gibbs and Chase Brown. 1A, 1B. Just moments to think back at. Now, again, listen. At the end of the day, if Myles Murphy pans out and works out in the end and he ends up becoming an absolute superstar for us, which we hope and pray at this point, then, okay, you know, it is what it is. But it is one of those situations where it's like, you know, as fans, and I streamed that draft. It was a 3-day, 4-hour-a-day draft. It was 12 hours we streamed for that. And there was so many different players we wanted at pick 28. Gibbs obviously went off the board early. I think, what was it, like pick 10? So he was off the board already. But to think that we might have been able to, or I guess we're trying to get him that much, is fun. We also didn't go Michael Mayer or Sam Laporta. We went with Myles Murphy over both those guys, and all the rest is history. But that's interesting. I mean, if this is true, again, now keep in mind to take everything with a grain of salt. This isn't a player saying this. Is not like a coach or anyone connected to the Bengals. But if this is true, you got to give Duke Tobin a little bit of credit there for trying to make a trade up. Because I let's be honest, nobody expected the Lions to take Gibbs top 10. Or whatever, top 12. No one expected him to go so early in that draft. Everyone expected Gibbs, if anything, right around probably mid-20s, 25 range. The fact that he went so early was a shocker to everybody. I think the earliest mock draft I saw Gibbs at the time going was like maybe 23, 22, 20. Like, that was kind of the area / space that most mock drafts had him at. So the fact that, stretched that even more, they ended up taking him, top 15, was just absolutely insane. So, still cool, still awesome to know that, again, this is another player on the docket that we tried to go get, we tried to figure things out with, and it just didn't work out in the end. Which, hey, listen, it is what it is. Sometimes it's just not going to work out. Sometimes you're going to make a move, try to make a move, and it falls flat on its face. It sucks, man. It really does, because that's kind of been like our, motto as of late, is trying to get it to work, and it just simply comes up a tad bit short. But it is what it is. Tell me down below your thoughts, opinions. I'll see you guys in the next one.